Last week we read this same verse from Krishna book. Tonight we'll read it from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. This is chapter 29. Krishna and the gopis meet for the rasa dance. Text 1 from the Sarartha Darshini. Sri Bhadarayani, or Sukadev Goswami, said, Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of and all opulences. Yet, upon seeing those autumn nights scented with blossoming jasmine flowers, he turned his mind toward loving affairs. To fulfill his purpose, he employed his internal potency. Commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I offer my humble obeisances unto my Guru Parampara, beginning with my Diksha Guru, Sri Radharaman, alias Sri Ram. My Parama Gurudev, Sri Krishna Charan. My Parat Paru Gurudev, Sri Ganga Narayan. My Parama Parat Para Gurudev, Srila Narottam Das Thakur. To Sri Lokanath Goswami and Lord Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Paying repeated respects to my Diksha Guru, Sri Radharaman Dev, I offer my respects to Lord Sri Krishna, the ocean of mercy. I take shelter of Sri Sukadev Goswami, the eye of the universe and master of the worlds. I offer myself and everything I possess to Sri Krishna, the Lord of the gopis' hearts, in hopes of attaining the eternal service of his beloveds. Such a beautiful, poetic way to enter into the rasa dance. So Samapriya, have some other readers.
Okay, I think you have to put it down a little because...
Is that better in yours?
Okay.
Let me know if you can't see it, because I can always adjust it.
Okay. Yeah, I hope everyone heard that, because whoever can't see it, he will adjust. So welcome again. We're very fortunate to be able to discuss these transcendental topics during Kartik. And we'll see how the Vaibhava, the Ashraya, and Vishaya are actually in progress between Krishna and the gopis now. So let's start with Deva Prastha Prabhu. Would you like to read?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
In the next 5 chapters, 29 through 33, known as the Rasa Panchadhyaya, which are like the 5 life airs, Shukadev Goswami describes Sri Krishna's Rasa Lila, the prized jewel within the treasury of all his pastimes. All glories to the Rasa dance. By the good fortune of the Vraj Gopis acquired for themselves by participating in the rasa dance, they relish the topmost manifestation of all divine tastes, even while present on this earth. This chapter describes how the thirsty Chataki birds of the gopis' ears became inundated with the harshly poisonous shower from the monsoon cloud of Krishna's flute. It also describes the arguments and counter-arguments of Krishna and the gopis, and Krishna's playful disappearance from the midst of the gopis.
Thank you. I have a question. How come Krishna's flute is referred to as poisonous? Anyone know? No one knows. Mukunda, you know?
If anybody wants to raise their hand, down at the bottom of your Zoom icons, there should be a little hand. Or else you can just raise it.
Go into the hand is in the reactions.
Yeah. Yes, sometimes the gopis speak in what's called parokshvad, so they'll speak in like a double meaning, or to say one thing to indicate another. Just like we might describe somebody as crying a river of tears. So it's not really literally a river of tears, but the import gives sort of pictorial idea of a certain emotion. So in the same way, the gopis describe the sound of Krishna's flute as poisonous because it poisons certain things. One is called their lajja, means their shyness. One is their duty to husband, family, etc. It poisons all of those things that makes them attracted to him.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you. That's beautiful. All right. Well, if anyone doesn't have anything to say, and
Jagarini, I think raised her hand,
Yeah.
or did you pull it down again?
I pulled it down because I was going to say the same thing.
Oh.
That
oh, good.
isn't.
Okay. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you both. Okay. So let's see. Kelly Niketana, can you read next, sweetie?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
There you go.
When Krishna was 7 years old on the Amavasya dark moon day of the Kartik month, he preached Karma Mimamsa philosophy to prevent the Indra Yajna of Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd men. On the first day of the waxing moon, the Vrajavasis worshipped Govardhan Hill. On the second day of the waxing moon, Krishna honored a feast on the shore of the Yamuna on the occasion of Brahatriya Dvitiya, a day when sisters honor their brothers. Though this pastime is not described by Sukadev Goswami, it is understood that it took place. Then Indra cursed the Vrajavasis, and Krishna held up Govardhan Hill from Sukla Tritiya until Navami, 7 days. On Sukla Dasmi, the 10th day, the cowherd men discussed the incident with great surprise. On Kartik Sukla Ekadasi, the heavenly Surabhi cow performed an Abhishek of Krishna. On the Dwadasi day, Krishna went to Varuna Loka to rescue his father Nanda Maharaj. On Purnima, the cowherd men had darshana of Brahmaloka, and the autumn season finished.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything?
Go ahead. Kaylee Niketana, any realizations from that? It's pretty much a list, but anything?
I was going to say, it just sounds like a busy time, like a lot of events happening.
This is a recap, actually, of what has previously happened.
Bahushura, you want to give us a little explanation of what these terms mean? Shukli Tritiya, Navami, Sukla Dasami, etc.
It's just different phases of the moon. So you have 15 wax, 15 wane. Krishna, when you say Krishna is the wane and Sukla is the wax. So it goes from Amavasya all the way up to Purnima. And so these, because this is such an auspicious season, this month, therefore, is that you see all these occurring within the month. So it's very, very wonderful to see this, because it's just jam-packed with nectar from beginning to end.
Right.
And so that basically, if you'll notice, Krishna's picking out the days that basically are more auspicious, like Dasami. So if you have Dvitiya, the second phase, Tritiya, the third phase, the fifth phase, and then you have, it goes all the way up, and then you have Dasami, and then Trayodasi, 13th phase, and then you have the Purnima, which is, so all those are considered to be the most auspicious, and Krishna does most of his things on those auspicious days. So.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. If anybody has something that they'd like to add, you can raise your hand, although I can't find where the raised hand is, but if you raise your hand
It'll show up on your
like
screen.
this, maybe I'll be able to see it. Okay, let's go on reading. Jagarini, would you
Okay,
like to
Shalagram Dasi just raised her hand.
Oh, Shalogram or Manvantara.
Shalagram Sheila.
But here's Manvantara right there. Okay. Can I? Yes.
Hare
Please tell
Krishna.
me.
Hare
Hello.
Krishna. We just want to know where we're at, what book and what page, or where we're at.
We're in the Sarartha Darshini, chapter 29, text 1.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. Nice to see you both. Hare Krishna. Where there's a will, there's a way. They had trouble getting on. Hare. Okay. Jagarini, you want to read this paragraph?
As you wish. With the next Janmashtami, Krishna turned 8 years old. On the full moon night, Sarada Purnima of the Ashvini month, Sri Krishna celebrated Rasa Lila. That was last night. The first verse begins from this point. Even though Krishna is Bhagavan, full in 6 varieties of opulences, he turned his mind toward enjoying because of the time, place, and persons, which are 3 udipanas to excite to rasa. So 3 udipanas to excite to rasa. The time was full moon night of autumn, Sharada Purnima. The place was the forest of Vrindavan, and the persons were the lovely damsels of Braj. All 3 served to inflame the passion of enjoyment by their supreme capacity to attract Krishna's mind with their sweetness.
Perfection. This is perfection, and this happened last night. Did everybody see it?
Yeah.
How deep was your vision?
Remember we used to leave sweet rice out? Do we do that anymore?
Oh, Bahusha, did you leave the sweet rice out, Prabhu?
No, I just watched the sweetness of the moon, because on this specific night, Prabhupada said it's the most beautiful, which it is. But in the Bay Area here, San Francisco Bay Area, it was perfect because the moon goes from its rise all the way to the set, to setting early in the morning. So it was extremely beautiful. There was no wind, and it was just immediately reminded me of Krishna having his Ras Leela at this perfect setup of the climate.
Beautiful. It was beautiful. It was also beautiful in Alachua.
Yep.
Very nice, very nice. Anything else on this? And if anybody has realizations, you please let me know somehow or another. Okay, then let's go on with the Koranath reading the next paragraph, Krishna's Yoga Maya potency.
The attraction of the autumn night.
Read the whole section, okay? There's 3 sections coming up. Just read all the paragraphs of that section.
I don't
That's
know if
better.
there's going to, I'd like to include everyone in on reading.
There'll be plenty.
Okay.
The attraction of the autumn night. This is the second Udipana that they're describing. Krishna became desirous of relishing with his own ears and other senses the variegated charms of the topmost experts among billions of women in the arts of amorous love.
Hold it. Why did you say it's the second one? What's the first
Because
one?
the first one was the autumn night. No, wait. The first one was just above.
This is the first one. Autumn
Didn't
night,
Jagarini read?
attraction of the place. No, she just read a list of the 3. Now it's going into
Now it's
describing
gonna go
So this is the
into-
one
first
of those 3.
Yeah.
This is the first one. So back up. Now you're. I got to get back up to the autumn night. Okay. He wanted to enjoy with his own senses the sweet sounds of the gopis' voices, their beauty and fine fragrance, tenderness, cleverness, and skill in dancing and playing music. Krishna also wanted the gopis to relish with their own ears and other senses the sweet sound of his voice. Krishna's Yogamaya potency, under the influence of pure love and impelled to act by Krishna's Satya Sankalpa Shakti, potency to instantly fulfill desires, brought millions of other nights, which were all needed for carrying out such loving pastimes, into that single night of merely 4 praharas, 12 hours. Therefore, the word for nights, ratrihi, is plural in this verse. This fact is confirmed later in the Bhagavatam 10:33-38. Brahma Ratra Upavrite, after an entire night of Brahma had passed. In other words, this night, Sharada Purnima, became the length of Brahma's night. Previously, when Krishna stole the clothing of the virgin gopis, he said, "On all the future nights you will enjoy with me." Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan says, Ratrihi is plural to indicate the numerous demigods in charge of the night who came there to perform service.
Okay, the second is attractiveness.
Any
Okay.
realizations for that?
Realizations. Koranath.
Well, it's really interesting that they danced, although it was one night apparently. They really danced for a whole night of Brahma, which is whatever billions of years, something, 1,000 ages taken together, so 1,000 times 4,320,000 or something. So so that's one thing that, and he wanted to enjoy. That's something else that the acharyas touch on, that some people try to say, well, Krishna doesn't enjoy, only the gopis enjoy, or something like that. But Krishna actually, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he refutes all those things by
Good.
the Sanskrit grammar and so forth. I don't think we read that part yet. Maybe it comes later.
Yeah. Yes. Very
No.
good. Yeah. Well, I was wondering when that was going to come up, because Krishna is the supreme lover, and he wants a relationship with each one of us, right? So that, and unless we give him a relationship, unless we are receptive to that, he's feeling lack in relation to us. So that's love. Love means that there has to be some,
Reciprocity.
yeah, there has to be this. There has to be relationship. Okay.
And yet his lack is, he's not lacking anything. Prabhupada describes it like that a man who has many wives is enjoying with some, and then he wants to wake the sleeping ones up to enjoy with them also. It's like he's full in himself, Bhagavan api, and yet he nevertheless wants to, or feels like he wants them to wake up. And the preachers are the ones who are most dear to him because they're waking people up for him. But he's not interfering so much. He's sending them.
He's sending
yeah.
them. Well, it's up to the soul too, you know.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. But thank you for that explanation, because that's exactly what I was hoping that someone would say that. So let's go on with the Acharya reading. Acharya-ji? Oh, wait a minute. I think
I'm here.
Okay, good.
I just had to unmute myself. The attractiveness of the place. Sharadotpula Malika, although out of season, the jasmine, Malika flowers were blossoming in the autumn. In the next chapter, verse 11 also states, at the time of the rasa dance, the garland of jasmine, kunda flowers, on Krishna's neck became tinged with the kumkum from Radha's breasts. Thus it should be understood that the jasmines were blossoming out of season in the autumn. Verse 45 of this chapter says, the gentle wind bore the fragrance of lotus flowers, kumudamoda vayuna. Although lotuses do not bloom at night, it is understood that on this special night the lotuses also blossomed. Such is the super excellent charm of Vrindavan, that their lotus flowers open even during the night. If we take an alternate reading of Sharadotpula Malika, it means that both Sharada and Malika flowers were blooming.
Any comments on that?
Just that it reminds me of Srila Jiva Goswami's description of the Krishna Janmashtami, that when Krishna appeared also, although it was in the rainy season, it described how all the good qualities and flowers and all the good qualities of all the 6 seasons were all present at the same time, even though it was, is Janmashtami in the rainy season? Is that correct?
Yes. Nice
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
I'd never thought of that one.
The whole Vrindavan it's just, it's not locked in like in the material world. It's all, fluid and alive, and all there, reciprocating for Krishna's pleasure.
And we've all seen and appreciated how when nature is super harmonious, it is so pleasant. And this whole environment, as we're reading about the Udipana, the different features which encouraged, even though he's self-sufficient, even though he's Atmarama, it created an environment where that supreme person had a desire to enjoy. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Acharya. That was fantastic. Like that nice connection.
Okay. Madhumati, you want to read?
Yes.
Oh, you got
we
some
heard
kind
you.
of that echoed.
Very positive.
Is that better?
Oh, wait
No.
a minute. That's not.
If you go to your settings, then and check the audio, make sure that the microphone is the right one. Or Kuranath, you seem to know quite a lot about Zoom. Something you can do?
I think we both are sitting together. So better
Oh,
if I.
yes.
Turn
one
one
off.
computer.
Yeah.
Cut off one and read from the other. And just cut off the audio on one of them.
Is it cut off?
No.
Because we're sitting together, so just have somebody else read.
Okay,
Okay.
and then you
Okay.
can turn off one and then let us know.
Okay. Brigamika, are you there? I saw her name. Okay, not. Mukundaji, would you like to read?
Where are we picking up from?
Attractiveness of the grudge gopis.
The phrase, let me see, then I might be a little high for that. Oh, where's the attractiveness of the Raj Gopis?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Shri Krishna got ready to enjoy those nights. In this regard, some may interpret the word reme, take pleasure, the references in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:33-16, as meaning that since Krishna is actually self-satisfied and innately full in all desires, this apparent enjoyment on his part with the young women is only an external show, a false imitation of human life. It is in reply to such a possible interpretation that the phrase Rantum Manasa Chakre is used to inform us that Krishna enjoyed internally within his mind, Manasa, not externally. Very well, someone may say in agreement, this enjoyment is internal, but only for the cowherd damsels of Braja because they are Krishna's devotees. To refute such an idea, the word chakre is intentionally used in the verb conjugation instead of parasmaipad to express that this enjoyment is for Krishna's own satisfaction. This, moreover, shows the Vraj Gopis had such an incredible degree of Krishna prema that Supreme Lord himself, although already fulfilled in all possible pleasures, was thinking of enjoying with them. Go on, or should I?
Pati, can he comment on that? Let's
You know who's going to speak and everything.
Okay.
This is a big part. We don't need to have one person read all of it.
Okay, wait a second. I want you to comment on what you read, if you could.
Yes. So, a couple of things. One is that sometimes when we say that Krishna is Atmaram, even in Chaitanya Charitamrita it's mentioned there. Radha Krishna Chayi Sada Eki Saru Lila Rasa Sudite Dari Duiru. And actually Radha and Krishna are one person. So Krishna's Atmaramita is actually Radhika inside of Krishna giving pleasure. When that pleasure becomes personified separately, Lila Rasa Ashadite Dare Dui Root means they take two forms. So Radhika is Krishna's Atmaramita. A further praman for this, a proof for this, is in Skanda Puran. Atmaramas Radhika Tasha Ramana Evana So. Atmaramasiti Prokta Muni Bia Guyavedi Bia. The confidential meaning that God is Atmarama, self-satisfied, is that Radhika is doing Ramana, means she's giving pleasure in the heart of Krishna. Because
so Radha and Krishna are actually, Radharani is Krishna. Radharani is Krishna. She's Shakti, but we always get confused when we see that they divide for their own pleasure, for Krishna's pleasure, but she is Krishna. That realization helped me to understand her position.
Yes.
Yes.
And he's mentioning the Sanskrit grammar here. The word parasmayapad means when a verb is used and it refers that the activity is related to someone else. The contrary to that is called atmaneyapad, which means if somebody says something regarding an action, if like the chakra here means, he's actually not saying I'm only doing this for the pleasure of the gopis, but by saying vikshamarantu manaso chakre, that verb conjugation means atmaneyapad, which means he's thinking I will also become happy.
Good. Perfect. That's perfect. Okay. Everyone got that? That was wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Manvantara, why don't you continue? And then after wait, we got some questions
actually
here.
Raised a hand.
Manvantaraji.
Hey, Hare Krishna.
Hare
May I ask
Krishna.
a question?
Yes, please.
So that explanation about Radha is Krishna is not to change topics, but is that why she's Radha or Lakshmi is not accompanying Krishna within the heart as Paramatma? it just brought me to that space.
There's
The
no,
fact that
okay,
Radha is Krishna's Shakti potency. Is that why she is not accompanying the Paramatma within the heart?
well, it depends upon how deep you look into the Paramatma.
Yes.
You know, isn't that true, Mukunda? I mean, you know, it's. But we're talking about Radha and Krishna. That's an interesting thing to think about, Manvantara. Let's just stay on this topic for a while.
Okay.
That Radha and Krishna are one person, and they divided for pastimes.
Yes.
And understanding that she is eternally residing within. It says that in the Shri Upanishad that he's complete. Even if she goes outside of him, he's still complete within himself, right? And at the same time, he wants relationships. Is that okay?
Yes. Madhumati and Takamurari also have hands raised.
Okay, Madhumati, and then Takamurari. Madhu. Are you there, Madhu?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Yes.
Did you have a question? Oh, Stacia.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, historically, was Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writing against opponents of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, or just out of his own realization to deepen the Gaudiya Siddhanta?
Well, we know from the activities of his disciple Baladev Vidyabhusana that there was definitely some questions about the validity of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya and its manifestation. But the way he's writing, it seems like what he's doing is, from the transcendental position, acting and writing in such a way as to dispel all doubts, to explain it very clearly, no matter whether there was opposition or not. He's just entering into the grammar and explaining this particular meaning is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead wanted to enjoy. And he's explaining that in the grammar from the verses very clearly, from my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah, also during those times, there was always various schools of thought coming down in the line of Mahaprabhu. So some had different kinds of pushback. Like there's one person, Rup Kaviraj. He was a very prominent sort of opposition to a lot of what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur would preach. So in his commentaries many times, just like Srila Prabhupada many times writes about contemporary issues and addressing contemporary things within our society, in the larger society, in his purports, as a way to deal with those things while commenting on a verse. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur would do the same, and especially to people like Rupa Kaviraj, who would come up with slight deviations from Mahaprabhu's line of thought, he would address it in his arguments in various commentaries and so forth and so on.
Okay, clear.
Thakur
This is getting
Murari?
deeper, and I was going to call it Thakur. Thank you, Mukundaji. And
Yeah,
Sesha.
Krishna, the devotees, I sent a message in the chat. I have to leave
Yes.
because I have, yes. So,
Okay,
Tuesdays, I can only stay with you for half an hour, but I definitely
He can't
on
resist.
Saturday.
He has to stay.
Yes. So, see you on Saturday. And
Oh, okay.
continue Sangha. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on with, can you read now, Madhu? But you have to unmute, sweetie.
Yeah, I can read now. We're sharing one computer here.
Oh, that's good. Oh, then wait a minute. Before you do, we have Karnath would like to. He has a question. Karnath.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as far as Radha and Krishna being one, that in the Brahma Samhita, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta uses the word moiti, M-O-E-I-T-Y, which means like the equal half of an undivided whole. So that the divine couple is one, and yet they're both equal halves of that one, like community property in divorce law.
Okay. They are one. It's very profound, this discussion. This Lord Chaitanya comes to reunite Radha and Krishna. And we can't understand any of this without Lord Chaitanya. We can't. Okay, Madhu, why don't you read?
From the phrase,
Yes.
yeah? The phrase Itham Bhuta Guno Hari, the wonderful qualities of Lord Hari, in the famous Atmaram's Chamunayo verse from Bhagavatam 1.7.10, establishes the super excellence of the Vraja Gopis. The Vishnu Purana says, Lord Madhusudan, even though free from all flaws of passion and imperfect qualities, fulfilled his youth, Kaishura age, by enjoying with the beautiful women of Vraj in the night. Harivamsa says, Shri Krishna brought together in the night all the young cowherd girls, both married and unmarried, and fulfilled the purpose of his youth by enjoying with them. If Krishna failed to enjoy with the Vraj Gopis, his youthfulness would have been fruitless. Therefore, great authorities such as Srila Rupa Goswami state, Kaishoram safali karoti kalyan kunja viharam hari. Lord Hari perfects his youth by arranging loving pastimes in the bushes of Vrindavan. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 2:1-31. Such statements by realized acharyas of devotion suddenly hint at the topmost supremacy of the young ladies of Vraj by revealing their supremely attractive qualities.
Before we go on, I have a question. This is very wonderful and bewildering that Krishna perfects his youth by enjoying with the young gopis in Vrindavan, married and unmarried. This is like the perfection of Krishna. This is the holiest thing. And it's, of course, we have the perverted reflection right here. So what does that mean? And not only that, he's perfecting himself because he's in the line of the moon. There was another analogy like that. So this is like, it's a little bewildering. Anyone can shed some light on that?
I just have to say that the thought came to my mind is that Krishna just loves to enjoy, and he knows how to enjoy in the most perfect way, like the most extreme way, yes, he loves to have a good time.
He loves to have a perfect time, yeah?
Yeah.
And even though he's full, it's like a Chinta Beta Beta Tattva, even though he is filled and satisfied, simultaneously he's yearning to have a relationship with the topmost devotees.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
It will also be described in later purports that his childhood was perfected in the Vatsalya Rasa with Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj. Then he was older, 6 to 10 years old. He was in the age with the cowherd boys, and Sakya Rasa was perfected. Therefore, when he's in his youthful age, the Kaishor age, the perfection of that youthful age is these intimate pastimes with the gopis and loving conjugal affairs.
Isn't it interesting that this is when he's 8 years old,
Yes.
but he's in his Kaishora age because he's not bound by the ordinary, like we were talking about the fruits and flowers blooming out of season and things. He's not bound by, Krishna was 11 and a half. He had been in Vrindavan 11 and a half before he went with Akrura to Mathura, but he was already exhibiting his 16-year-old form.
I have heard
comes to my, oh, good.
Okay, someone do.
What came to my mind, for a second, was the pastime of Krishna's headache. So there are so many devotees. There are many pure devotees in Vrindavan, right? But many pure, but the gopis are such topmost bhaktas that Krishna has this special. If it's reciprocity, right? If Krishna reciprocates with the devotees with the amount of love that they have, then it just makes sense.
Right.
The topmost bhaktas of Braj, the gopis, the simplistic gopis that care nothing for themselves or their reputations or going to hell. We don't care if we go to hell. We just want Krishna's headache to go away. Remember that pastime?
Yeah. It's true. And Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita, Yeyatam Mam Prapadyante. That verse is we're eligible also for that. Sometimes I like to bring it down just to the platform of here.
We got a ways to go.
We got a ways to go, but still we can have a relationship with Krishna. Okay, we have one more.
Some also, you should note that we're falling behind.
Oh, okay. So we go on. Madhu had a
It's up to
question.
you.
So
However you want to do it.
why I'm the supreme controller here?
Yes, you're the.
Watch out, folks. Okay. You two will talk later. I have to surrender. Okay, go on. We'll go on reading. Manvitar, why don't you continue for us? And I'll ask you guys later. Oh, we're at the Krishna book now. By using?
Actually, the screen, because we're on a. Okay, I'll read from the book, but sometimes you don't include everything, so you're gonna have to stop me. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're not reading from here? By using the word Yogamaya.
Maybe we should choose somebody with a device.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're waiting for a new computer for Manvantara. So, okay, but at least we see you. Okay, so we'll get someone else to read. Is that all right? Okay. Padma Malini. Padma, are you there? Let's see. I don't know if she is there. She was there.
I'm in listening mode tonight.
Okay, darling. Okay.
Thank you.
Chaitamayi? I did see you
Haribol.
Haribol, sweetie.
Here I am.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm reading off my phone, so it's important that I have glasses on.
Okay.
Hang on. Thank you for your patience.
Oh.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, here we go. So I'm reading from by using the word Yogamayam. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you so much. By using the word Yogamayam, which means that this was an action of Krishna's personal, inconceivable spiritual potency, Chit Shakti, Sukadev Goswami reconciles everything contradictory and clarifies everything left unsaid. The prefix upa, fully, in the word upashrita, resorting to, indicates that Krishna took shelter in a most profound and complete manner. The fact that Krishna resorted to Yogamaya, out of all the potencies that lie at his disposal, pronounces the good fortune of Yogamaya.
Boy. What can you say about that, Chaita?
Yogamaya is an energy, is a Shakti that stands at the forefront of Krishna's capabilities.
Right.
And it has its parameters are hard to define. It seems to be able to do just about anything.
True. Yogamaya is there for his pastimes.
Yes, is she personified by her begins with the word P, her name.
Purnamasi.
Purnamasi.
Thank you, Mother Purnamasi.
Okay.
She sets the scene over and over again, knowing exactly what Krishna is in favor of, which is just another illustration that Krishna is, he functions in relationship. It's his will, and then he delegates. He delegates to his Shaktis, he delegates to his devotees, his lovers, and gives them so much capability. And all of it is working towards one end, which is Satchidananda.
His own pleasure.
His own pleasure.
His own pleasure, which includes everyone's pleasure, actually.
Thank you.
Why don't you
Sama,
read the next
let's do some more reading now. There's only 15 more minutes left.
Okay.
Try and get
Well, I'm getting a little mixed up because I don't exactly. Has anybody not read who would like to read? Because I can't see. Pushkar was on here. Pushkar, are you still there? Pushkar.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello. Would you like to read Krishna book?
Is that what we're reading here on the
Yeah,
screen?
just on the
Can you,
screen right
do you
here.
have a screen?
Okay, I'll read it for a minute. Let's see. The full moon night. Am I starting the paragraph when
You're
Krishna?
when Krishna.
You got to read from the screen, Prabhu.
Yeah, I'm what?
The screen. We're reading, when Krishna, supreme enjoyer, desired to enjoy the company of the gopis. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
read
full
that.
moon night of the Sard season, exactly at that very moment, the moon, the Lord of the stars, appeared in the sky, displaying its most beautiful features. The full moon night of the Sard season is the most beautiful night in the year. In Indian, there is a great monument called Taj Mahal in Agra, a city in the Uttar Pradesh province, and the tomb is made of first-class marble stone. During the night of the full moon of the Sard season, many foreigners go to see the beautiful reflections of the moon on the tomb. Thus, this full moon night is celebrated even today for its beauty. When the full moon rose in the east, it tinged everything with a reddish color. With the rising of the moon, the whole sky appeared smeared by red kumkum. When a husband long separated from his wife returns home, he decorates the face of his wife with red kumkum. This long-expected moonrise of the Sard season was thus smearing the eastern sky. The appearance of the moon increased Krishna's desire to dance with the gopis. The forests were filled with fragrant flowers. The atmosphere was cooling and enchanted, festive. When the Lord began to blow his flute, the gopis all over Vrindavan became enchanted. Their attraction to the vibration of the flute increased 1,000 times due to the rising full moon, the red horizon, the calm and cool atmosphere, and the blossoming flowers. All these gopis were by nature very much attracted to Krishna's beauty, and when they heard the vibration of his flute, they became apparently lustful to satisfy the senses of Krishna.
So can you explain something? Actually, we were talking about Ashraya and Vishaya. Do you see how, can you explain how that has to do with this paragraph?
Okay, the two paragraphs. Let's see.
Yes.
Oh, it went off. Did I do something? I think.
Pati, you want to put back the words? The text? Okay, he's
I
coming.
don't know if it's me doing it.
No, it's he's controlling. Now here it is.
Yeah, well, okay. So the gopis are taking shelter, or rather the bhakti, they are the shelter of bhakti, and we're hearing the details. It doesn't seem to be a big problem. It's enhancing our understanding. And Prabhupada's making this comparison of the marble and how even it also shows Prabhupada extending himself, because I think nowadays in Agra it's pretty smoggy. I don't know if you can see the moon even. I don't know. I never stopped to go to the Taj. I remember when we flew into Agra some years back, and actually in 2000, and the cabbie was completely amazed that we weren't going to see the Taj. We just wanted to go to Vrindavan.
Right.
Apparently this is what people go to see, whether they go on the Sarat evening, and it might be a little better. I think the only time I saw the Taj was from across the Jamuna on the train. So Prabhupada's going out of his way to make this analogy to bring people in as the emissary. And so, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, the marble's there. It makes a nice reflection, but it's so beautifully and poetic. So I like to stick to actually reading the Sanskrit slokas, but
Okay.
we're not doing that, though. We're just reading Krishna book, right?
We're reading Krishna book and Sarata Darshani, which is the next thing that's down the line there.
Okay,
But,
yeah.
okay.
I tuned in late. Haribol.
Okay. Thank you, Pushkar. Anyone else have something? We better go on. Let's go on. Pati, why don't you read a little bit? Or wait a minute, Sesha, are you able to read? Do you want
That's
to read?
okay.
Okay.
Text 2, Sarata Darshani. The moon then rose, anointing the face of the eastern horizon with the reddish hue of his comforting rays, and thus dispelling the pain of those who watched him rise. The moon was like a beloved husband who returns after a long absence and adorns the face of his beloved wife with red kumkum. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. when Krishna became inclined to enjoy under the spell of the time and place. At that moment, the moon, finding an opportunity to render service, rose of its own will in the eastern direction with its pleasing rays of light. The rising of the moon, the king of the stars, was another cause for the inflaming of passionate desires. In addition to being a stimulator, udipana, of conjugal feelings, the moon also served Krishna and the gopis by illuminating their pleasure pastimes with its brilliant light. When a lover meets his beloved after long separation, he colors her face with kumkum with his own hand. Similarly, the rising moon colored the face of the western direction with the reddish hue of its pleasing rays. The word sa expresses that he has already been mentioned. The moon removed the discomfort caused by the heat of the sun for all men.
Kaylee, you want to read? Unmute, sweetie. Unmute.
The word charshaninam, which is the genitive case, means of humankind, according to the Bhagavatam 6.6.42. From the womb of the wife of Aryama were born many learned scholars. Matrika, the wife of Aryama were born many learned scholars. Lord Brahma arranged for these Charshanaya to be the forefathers of the human race. The idea of this verse is as follows. The moon god, the very founder of the dynasty in which Krishna appeared, Chanda Vamsa, and the most ancient leader of the Brahmana community, possesses many wives of his own who are all quite fit to be enjoyed, yet he is touching the face of the western direction, who is another's wife, namely Indra. By touching her, the moon god is also making her attracted to him. This verse hints that if this is the case with the moon god, the leader of Krishna's dynasty, then certainly there is no fault in Krishna, a descendant of his dynasty, enjoying with the gopis. After all, Krishna is a fresh youth intoxicated with the beauty of his human form, and he is an unmarried member of the cowherd community. Besides, Krishna is so uniquely enchanting that he excites the women in the universe.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, we're just going to go on and have a discussion after. David Presta, would you like to read?
Text 3, Sarartha Darshini. Lord Krishna saw the unbroken disk of the full moon glowing with the red effulgence of newly applied vermilion, as if it were the face of the goddess of fortune. He also saw the Kumuda lotuses opening in response to the moon's presence, and the forest gently illumined by its rays. Thus the Lord began to play sweetly on his flute, attracting the minds of the beautiful-eyed gopis. Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur. Krishna succumbed to romantic desires upon seeing the rising moon. Keeping in mind the saying, whatever great men do, others will follow. Yad yad acharati shrestast tad eve taro janaha. And seeing the behavior of the founder of his own dynasty, Krishna felt free to make a definite effort to attract others' wives, there to enjoy without fear. This verse indicates the two elements of vibhava, causes of love for Krishna to appear, alambana, the shelter of rasa, and udipana, excitants to love. The moon is the udipana, and Krishna's form is the alambana.
Thank you. Madhurya Leela, are you there? Okay.
Acharya rose his hand. Acharya, do you have a comment?
Yeah, but if you want to finish
No, that's okay. If you got it, since it's topic, it sounds like it's topic subjective.
Yeah, I found it really interesting and actually even a little hilarious that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti is using the demigods the behavior of the demigods to kind of justify Krishna's behavior. He's saying, oh, Aryama, the sons there, even though the beautiful reddish horizon belongs to Indra, but he's still attracted to it. And then in this commentary, he says, oh, Lord Brahma, without mentioning particular, but because of Lord Brahma's behavior, he's sort of like justifying, well, you can also do, and we know about Lord Brahma's behavior sometimes with being lusty and such. So he seems to be using that almost to justify what Krishna's doing, which I thought was kind of funny.
Puzzling. Bushra?
I had a question, just a basic question, because we're talking about red kumkum. So originally, what is kumkum made out of? Because it's all chemicals now.
It's a flower pollen from a flower.
Vermilion.
Yeah, I think vermilion. I don't know the name. Madhu, do you know the name of the flower that kumkum is made of? Well, it's pollen, some pollen, I believe. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting how Krishna is, how Vishnu Chakravarti is talking in support of Krishna in this way. When we have to accept that Krishna is the enjoyer, but he desires to enjoy in certain ways. Why not? And we're all here, all the souls, all the living entities are meant for a relationship with him. It just keeps it bouncing off the pages here. Okay, thank you. So, Jagarini, why don't you read a little?
Uddipana. Kumut is the same as Kamuda, as stated in the Vishvadosh dictionary, Kamud P. Kamut Pratkam, that the moon, that moon in whose presence the Kamuda lotuses can open. Another interpretation can also be given for this. The presence of the moon and Krishna gave pleasure, mud, to the earth, ku. This also applies to Krishna, since actually in this context, the specific antecedent modified and the modifier is left unstated. The full moon manifested a form resembling an unbroken disk. The moon is the brother of Rama, Lakshmi, because both were born from the churning of the milk ocean. Therefore, his face resembles hers. Or the word Rama refers to Radha, the original Lakshmi, as we find in the Brihad Gautamiya Tantra, Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kantihi, Samohini Para. Radha, the source of all Lakshmis, possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. The gopis are also Rama because they enjoy Ramante and give pleasure, Ramayanti, to Krishna. Sri Krishna became absorbed in remembering the gopis' faces upon seeing that moon. Effulgent according to the one interpretation, the faces of those Ramas, gopis, exhibit wonderfully effulgent complexions that revealed their inner transformations of love. Consequently, Krishna saw himself as red as a ball of kumkum powder in the reflection of that shining moonlight of the gopis' faces. Or that moon of the gopis' faces was red due to the recent application of kumkum, and Krishna's face had become colored by the gentle rays of that moon. Otherwise, the compound can be divided to give the word abhirajitam.
Okay. Yeah, read that last.
Okay. According to yet another interpretation, the forest was tinged red, abhirajita, by the famous rays of Krishna's own bodily effulgence, or else by the cows, gobi, that he was tending. The absence of the expected inflectional ending, taj, is a poetic license of the sages. If you really know Sanskrit, this would become much more.
Yeah, right. It's a really profound description of Sanskrit.
Each syllable and each letter is so significant.
Right. Everything is so full in Krishna consciousness. In the Vedas, it's perfect and full. Everything in relationship to Krishna is perfect and full and ever increasing. It's amazing. It's really astounding. Any comments before we conclude with the last verses of Koronati?
Two things. One thing is, I really like throughout our reading how Vishwanath is, we talked before about how he was defeating opposing Siddhantas, but also he's giving alternative explanations which without disapproval. That, in fact, we heard that Baladev said one thing, whereas Vishwanath said a different thing about something, and we're hearing these and he's giving these alternative things, which I think is interesting. That there's not just a monolithic. There's only one way to understand it, but he's understanding it from different angles. Second thing is, I looked up kumkum on my phone, and it says that it's actually turmeric, and when turmeric that has this yellow curcumin thing, but when it's mixed with slaked lime, which is an alkali substance, it turns deep red by a chemical reaction. And similarly, you can get the same effect by mixing it with either a baking soda or just some lime juice and waiting a few hours, and it'll turn red. But then it's often mixed with camphor, with saffron, which has got pollen in it. It's stamens of a flower, crocus flower, and
I didn't know that.
other
Thank you.
substances. Yeah.
That's interesting. Patty,
With ghee, they put it with ghee to make it smoother to apply.
One of the things that I realized, a nice analogy as I went through months of studying this, was if you're in like a Colosseum, like the Roman Colosseums were round buildings with the event happening down on the ground, but everybody from all different angles in the Colosseum could see that central event. And if you have a big gem down in that area and it's dark and there's lights on that gem, then everybody around from all the way around those circles, no matter where they're from, will see that gem slightly differently according to the way the light is on the facets of the gem. So similarly, all visions of the Rasa Leela, you were talking, Koronati, about how Vishwanath seems to be so liberal, accepting others and even quoting others' commentaries on this verse, because every Vaishnavas get individual realizations as they progress. So to accept that and appreciate that is part of our culture. Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Paman Prayantite, and that other one from Nectar of Instruction.
Which one?
Sharing a confidential.
Oh,
Dati Pratigunati.
Dati Pratigunati. Thanks.
Very nice. Okay, we're almost finished. I'd like Faye or Neil to start that paragraph from Alambana. Can you do that, one of you? Faye?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. You want to read that?
Yes, ma'am, I will try. Alabama, seeing these two opulent manifestations of the inflaming power of Cupid, Sri Krishna played sweetly on his flute. Verse 40 says, "Is there any woman in the three worlds who can maintain her chastity on hearing the sweet melodious sounds of Krishna's flute? In what manner did Krishna play his flute?" This verse answers by saying Krishna played in such a way as to captivate even those young girls with enchanting eyes. The Shruti confirms these women became full of desire from that singing.
The singing of the flute? Was that the singing of the flute?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mataji. From this,
Come on.
From this, it should be concluded that Krishna used the flute to utter the Kamabhasam, the seed mantra of the transcendental love. The word kalam, sweetly, indicates, please correct me,
Those are the ka and la.
ka and la, coming from the two consonants kakara and lakara. by removing the grammatical inflection from Varmajan, we get Varmadrik, which is the name for the fourth vowel E. From that vowel, Krishna's flute vibrated the 15th sound of the letter M. The word mana, mind, indicates that the moon, the lord of the mind, which represents the Khandra Bindu or A. The word hara, manoharam, means to attract or combine. Thus, the Kama Birch mantra Klim is indicated here. In other words, Krishna's flute vibrated the Kama Birch, the original mantra of Cupid, which has the mysterious power to attract and enchant the minds of all the young damsels of Vraj.
Oh boy, that's the essence of everything. Pushkar, do you want to talk about that a little? Are you there still? I don't know if he's there. Okay, well, this is a profound, profound paragraph. Would anyone like to speak about it?
I could say a little tiny bit that the Kama Bij is mentioned in Brahma Samhita, and I'm not remembering which number, the several verses getting up in the 20s. And this Kama Bija was what the flute sound came through Brahma's mouth, sort of. He uttered it and he understood it. And in this way, he was initiated. And in the purports, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, or whoever wrote the purports, is stressing how important it is. And CC also several times, I think in the 8th, Madhya 8, and also in Madhya 23, probably. Mukunda will know, or Dhruva, but that also stressed how important this Kama Bij makes the whole world dance. Whether one is dancing, even in Maya, it's generated ultimately from this Kama Gayatri. Even the Gopal mantra is also mentioned there in those purports. So just reading it, of course, is different than getting it from a realized person and understanding. You could see the complexity of the Sanskrit and how much knowledge is needed. But still, I remember getting Gayatri, which is this Kama Bij, is the Gayatri, but from Prabhupada directly. And I sat in his room in Henry Street just alone. And it was quite something overwhelming. And Prabhupada he spoke the mantra and said, you'll understand it. You can understand the details from your godbrothers, but the godbrothers really never explained anything until books started coming out years and years later. And, but in those days, in the early 71 too, we really didn't have any clue. I guess we could have read that Brahma Samhita purport. That was about as close as we could get. And so it's something to be, and even Vishwanath Chakravarti was so obsessed, transcendentally obsessed with understanding the 24 and a half syllables that are described by Krishna's Kaviraj, that he couldn't sleep, he couldn't live. It came to him in some book. I forgot this esoteric story. And it represent all the 24 moons in Krishna's body and 24 and a half syllables of the mantra. All right.
Thank you. This paragraph is completely profound. But do you want to add something
maybe
to that?
Maybe Mukunda? I heard him.
Mukundaji?
Yeah.
Thank you, Pushkar.
Just did a class on this in Baltimore for devotees. This is very, very important. So each of our mantras, I'm not speaking the mantras. I don't know who on the phone has Diksha, who does not, so I'm not speaking the mantras. But each bij in each of the mantras is an invocation for a particular thing. So the Kam bij, which is the bij that we invoke before saying Kam Gayatri or Gopal mantra, invokes the desire we have for a particular relationship. At the time of Diksha, a specialized relationship with Krishna is given by the Guru in the form of the mantras that we receive. So our particular relationship with Krishna is inherent in that mantra. So in Madhya Lila chapter 8, Pushkar was talking about, it mentions there, Vrindavane Apakrita Navina Madan, Kam Bij, Kam Gayatri, Yanra Upasan. That especially this Kam Bij is particularly meant for the worship of Apakrita Navina Madan. So Apakrita Navina Madan here means Krishna. And it means Krishna, particularly how he's worshipped as the transcendental form of Cupid by gopis headed by Radhika. The Sanskrit here is Jagu Kalam Bamadrisham Manoharam. So in Sanskrit alphabet, the Ka, you have one letter Ka, and then La, but Bamadrissa means the fourth vowel. So it'll be E. So then if you look in the way Devanagari works, Sanskrit language, it's like a line with a hook on it, for lack of a better word. So that turns it into clean. And then the M, it's called clean. So that sound is the sound of Krishna's flute. And Jagu Kala means he played in such a way that only gopis would hear it.
Okay, now I have to intercede something, if that's okay. Because what about the holy name, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, also being the sound of Krishna's flute? And Lord Chaitanya, in his graciousness, has made that available to all the souls in this material world, pretty much. You know, I mean, of course, we get deeper, we could get deeper, and the Gayatri Mantra is deeper, but this divine love that is present in the name, in Krishna's holy name, this is called a Maha Mantra, and it's even available to everyone.
Yeah. So the names Radha, Hare, and Krishna is actually directly Radha and Krishna themselves. So the Diksha mantras are meant to give us a relationship to Harinam. So that's why Diksha is made available.
Okay,
So,
that's perfect.
Yes. So
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that those Diksha mantras, by the way, this sound clean, which is Krishna's flute, is not really available to the jivas here necessarily in Kali Yuga when we first start chanting Gayatri. So it's explained that in Mahaprabhu's Leela, that flute descends as Mridanga and Kartals. So if you look, we were all drawn to bhakti by hearing the sound ching, 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 ching. So that flute descended.
Accompanied by, wait a second, ching, ching, ching. There's a lot of ching, ching, ching. But it has to be accompanied by the holy name, Hare Krishna.
I think I'm going to have to intercede here because one of the things we want to do is stay on schedule. Okay. Otherwise, this won't maintain. It's wonderful topics. The juice is flowing wonderfully, but I do want to maintain a pretty strict schedule so that we can maintain it for the months that we're going to be studying this. Suffice it to say, for those who may not be familiar with this particular mantra, the Kama Gayatri mantra, the idea is that Krishna is all attractive, and love of Krishna is seated within the hearts or within the soul of all living entities. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sajikabhanoi. And by chanting these mantras and hearing these transcendental sound vibration, that love's awakened. So let's just leave it at that Krishna played this flute in such a way that all the gopis, each one of them, as Mukunda was saying, individually heard a specific tune, a specific calling. Each one of them heard their own specific attraction and therefore went running out. And as we'll read tomorrow when I post that lesson, unknown to others. It's not that they all ran out in a big group together. They didn't even know anyone else was there. They were so absorbed in hearing that sound.
In the Gopala Champu, it's also said that when Krishna played his flute, each gopi heard her name. He was calling her specifically.
Right.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhus. Hare Krishna.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
more to come.
Thank you. Please forgive
Thank you so much. So wonderful.
Thank you, Dhruva.